Welcome to this explainer. Right now, as you're sitting there watching this, there is an absolutely incredible, invisible balancing act happening inside of you. It's a highly coordinated, flawlessly executed team-up that honestly puts any superhero movie to shame. Your body is this incredibly complex machine, and today, we're going to dive into the ultimate crossover event, how your core physiological systems work together to keep you alive, functioning, and thriving. Here is our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the quest for homeostasis, then fuel up with the digestive system, take a breath with the respiratory system, travel to circulatory system, clean house with the excretory system, and finally, look at how the whole shebang connects together. Section 1. The quest for homeostasis. This is the overarching mission of every single system in the human body.
So what is this mission? It's called homeostasis. Derived from the Greek words homeo meaning same and stasis meaning stable, homeostasis is basically your body's ultimate survival strategy. It's all about maintaining a perfectly balanced internal environment, completely regardless of the chaos happening in the outside world. Think of it like your body's internal thermostat and chemical regulator. All of your organ systems share this one unified purpose, keeping things perfectly stable.
To put that into perspective, just think about the number 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. That is the exact internal target temperature your body fights to maintain. When you step outside on a freezing winter day, your internal temperature threatens to drop, right? So your muscles involuntarily contract. You shiver to produce heat. On the flip side, during a blazing hot summer day, your body needs to cool off, so you sweat. These aren't just random reactions. They are highly coordinated efforts to keep that needle resting right at 98.6.
All right, Section 2, fueling up with the digestive system. Let's look at the first key player responsible for providing the raw fuel to make all this happen.
Just look at this incredible network. The digestive system really has three main jobs. It breaks down food, it absorbs nutrients, and it eliminates solid wastes. Its core purpose is to take the large, complex food particles you eat and convert them into simpler, highly absorbable micromolecules. These tiny molecules are then shipped into your bloodstream to be used as energy by your entire body.
Let's actually trace the literal journey of a single bite of food. It kicks off in the mouth, where chewing and saliva start the physical and chemical breakdown. Then it travels down a pipe called the esophagus, straight into the stomach for a heavy-duty acid wash. From there, it enters the small intestine, which is lined with these folded surfaces called villi that propel it along while soaking up all those nutrients into the blood. Finally, the large intestine removes the water, prepping what's left for elimination out through the rectum.
Now, here's a crazy fact for you. The sheer chemical power at work inside your stomach is mind-blowing. It secretes an extraordinarily strong acid with a pH level of 2. I mean, that is acidic enough to dissolve certain metals. This powerful acid aggressively attacks your food, mixing it with digestive juices until it turns into a thick, pulpy fluid called chyme. It's just a fantastic reminder of how intense human biology really is.
Moving on to Section 3, the breath of life, the respiratory system. Because having fuel isn't enough, we need a way to burn it.
So, tracing the entry points from the nasal passages down through the throat and into the lungs, we find our gas exchange center. The breathing system has a very clear dual mandate. It provides your body with a fresh, constant supply of oxygen for cellular respiration, and it swiftly kicks out the toxic waste product known as carbon dioxide.
The whole setup is perfectly specialized for airflow. Air comes in through the nose, travels past the pharynx at the back of the throat, goes through the larynx, which is your voice box, and drops down the trachea. The trachea then splits into two large bronchi, one for each lung. But the real magic happens at the very end of this journey in the alveoli. These are tiny air sacs clustered together like bunches of grapes. Surrounded by capillaries, these microscopic clusters are where oxygen is actually handed off to the blood and carbon dioxide is taken away.
Quick fun fact before we move on. You know that super annoying feeling when you get the hiccups? Well, underneath your lungs sits a large muscle called the diaphragm. This is the muscle that literally causes you to breathe by expanding and contracting. Hiccups are simply involuntary spasmodic contractions of this exact muscle. So next time you get them, just remember it's your respiratory system's main engine experiencing a tiny temporary glitch.
Section 4, the delivery network. Up next is the circulatory system.
Okay, so we have nutrient micromolecules and we have oxygen. But how do we get them to billions of cells spread all the way from the top of your head to the tips of your toes? We need a delivery network. Just look at this incredible branching highway. The circulatory system is made up of the heart, a massive network of blood vessels, arteries, veins, and capillaries, and the blood itself. Your four-chambered heart is the engine here, endlessly pumping to transport oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and white blood cells exactly where they're needed, while picking up waste along the way.
The sheer scale of the system is fascinating. An average adult has roughly 5 liters of blood constantly rushing through this network. To put our growth into perspective, a newborn baby, they only have about 1 single cup of blood in their entire body. This 5-liter delivery network in adults is the crucial logistical link that makes the survival of every single other system possible.
Section 5. Cleaning house. Let's talk about the excretory system.
With all this processing of food, exchanging of gases, and burning of energy, your body generates a lot of biological trash. The excretory system exists entirely to rid the body of this waste, including excess water and salts. The absolute stars of the show here are the kidneys. Waste-laden blood enters these bean-shaped organs, and they act as an incredibly sophisticated filtration system. They filter out a waste product called urea, along with excess water, creating urine. This then travels down the ureter to the bladder for disposal.
But hey, excretion isn't just the kidneys. It's a total multi-organ team effort. The rectum is part of this cleanup crew, expelling the solid waste left over from digestion. Your skin is deeply involved too. Sweat glands remove excess water and salts, regulating temperature while taking out the trash. And like we saw earlier, your lungs are constantly expelling waste gas as carbon dioxide. Literally, every exit route is utilized to keep your internal environment pure and stable. Finally, Section 6. How everything connects together. Let's see how all these pieces fit. This is the climax of our explainer. We've looked at these 4 systems, digestive, respiratory, circulatory, and excretory, kind of in isolation. But now let's look at the ultimate crossover event. The digestive system works tirelessly to provide your body with glucose from food. Meanwhile, the respiratory system is pulling in oxygen from the air. When these two elements meet inside your cells, a magnificent trade-off occurs. Glucose plus oxygen equals water, carbon dioxide, and the vital energy your brain and muscles need to function. One system simply cannot fuel the body without the other. You can really see the dynamic cross-collaboration in this breakdown. The digestive system gives us nutrients, the respiratory system gives us oxygen, but the circulatory system sits right there in the middle as the vital highway. I mean, the respiratory system completely relies on the circulatory system to carry the oxygen it gathers, just as the heart literally cannot pump without the oxygen delivered by the lungs. Blood picks up nutrients from the gut, and oxygen from the lungs delivers them, picks up the resulting waste, and hands it straight off to the excretory system, which cleans the blood so the cycle can start all over again safely.
It is a perfect, continuous loop. The circulatory system provides nutrients to the kidneys so they can clean the blood, and gives energy to the brain so it can subconsciously regulate your heart rate and your breathing. All of this incredible teamwork, providing fuel, delivering gas, pumping blood, and cleaning up the mess, serves that exact goal we talked about at the very beginning. Every piece is constantly interacting to maintain homeostasis.
Which leaves us with something pretty fascinating to think about. We define the human body as having 11 distinct organ systems, 4 of which we've deeply explored today. But if the respiratory system fails without the circulatory system, and the circulatory system fails without the digestive system, and the whole thing toxifies without the excretory system, are there really separate systems at all? Or are you just looking at one single, perfectly balanced machine? Think about that the next time you take a breath, eat a meal, or simply shiver in the cold. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep marveling at the incredible machine you live inside of every single day.